Hey, what's up guys? Again, Dragon here. For the past couple of days, I've been actually a little bit busy playing with another game. And no, it's not Fame from, on console or PC, instead of a mobile game. Now, of course, normally I'm not really keen interest in playing mobile games because, with free-to-play games on mobile, they usually literally little with you with microtransactions. And honestly, this game is no exception.
I
And the
just
game I'm
called
talking about is
to say
Payday Crime War.
I love you. Over.
Pretty much, imagine pretty much Payday 2, how it could handle in a
Make
mobile
sure
port.
no civilians get away.
I mean, sure, they kind of had a mobile game device like the Nintendo Switch, but this is completely different. So far, Payday Crime War is in early access, so only a few countries has able to get their hands on it. Now I heard a little bit of report that the Philippines has it, well, early access first, and then followed by Australia, and they just finally made a release to Canada just last week.
Everything is okay, Control.
So it was actually
Just
quite
me and you,
surprising.
right
I
here
thought I
on
would
the
have waited for a
radio.
little more while, but we got it. So that is nice for me, so I can able to play it. And I have to say, it definitely borrows a lot of reused assets from Payday 2. But there's also a few changes that you never expect to see, because since I've been playing Payday 2 for almost 10 years, I'm pretty much known for almost every map layout and pretty much almost every RNG elements around it, like certain spots with mission equipment. Payday Crime War did an excellent job of actually confuse the player to mix things up a bit, and not just in the same spot all the time. So even though you're familiar with Payday 2, they still change certain areas and certain items around, which I'll definitely get over a little bit later. Now, of course, when you start up the game, of course, you'll be present with a drill or a safe, and you need to drill it. Which, of course, is the exact same drill from the Black Market update. You know, those god-awful saves of microtransactions that literally litter with weapon skins that contains a stat boost? Yeah, except they actually function a little more differently. You see, in order to get yourself some new weapons, or in this case, also to level up your weapons, which is actually quite new, which never's done in Payday 2, you need to unlock weapons in the safe. And of course, there are sometimes lots of number you need to get it as well. So in order to reach level 2 with a certain weapon, you need to get at least 5 of the certain weapon. For example, the AK-5. If you get, well, 5 AK-5s from the safe, then you can able to upgrade it, which of course you can upgrade with your cash, which is of course is basically much your in-game currency. As for your microtransaction currency, it will be the gold or gold bars, which of course you don't get much, especially in the little battle pass for Crime War, in the form called Crime Pass. Pretty much their take on the battle pass, except for the fact that it doesn't. You don't actually progress the tiers through in-game time, unlike most games that do have the battle pass. Instead, you actually complete challenges, or in this case, side jobs, in order for you to pretty much increase your, I guess, your CP or Crime Pass XP in order for you to unlock the tiers. But of course, you have the ability to skip the tiers, but of course, that would pay you with real life money. So there's actually a free pass and, of course, a premium pass. I didn't bother with the premium pass. In fact, I never bothered buying anything from it because it is so heavily littered with microtransactions everywhere. So in order for you to level up as well, unlike Payday 2, where normally you level up by completing a heist, instead you need to level up your weapons, not just the weapons, but also your gear. Yes, you can also upgrade your gear as well. Not just not just primary weapons or secondary weapons, but also your equipment such as your armor, your and even like equipment like the ammo bag, the throwing knife, grenades, armor bag. So there's just a lot of shit they throw at you to level up shit and give you, I guess, a little bit more excuse to try to stick around for playing the game a little bit more. But it's not just that. Also, certain weapons are a little more different as well. For example, with the LMGs in Crime War, you can ADS, so you can able to use the iron sights, and you can even put optics on a weapon and can still use it, unlike Payday 2 where you're basically much zoom in on the gun, but you can't even use the sight because, according to Overkill, back, if you know, in January 2014 with the Gauge Weapon Pack 2 update, according to Overkill, they didn't want the LMGs to feel like assault rifles with large magazines, so that's why they can't ADS, which that statement is now completely relevant and pretty much thrown out the window because now we have plenty of LMGs that can ADS. And there's even an assault rifle which has a large magazine, being the HK416. But the fact that you could able to ADS in Crime War feels great. It actually feels really nice. Now, also, few weapons did got a few changes as well. One, for example, the Sub 2000, or of course, in-game name being the Cavity 9mm. You know, the semi-automatic DMR that has very high concealment. Yeah, in Crime War, it's not even semi-automatic. It's actually full auto. And it's actually crazy. It's really that powerful because, well, it's full auto. And also another weird thing is that the Detect 9, or known as the Blaster 9mm, is now part of the secondary or part of the pistol class rather than being in an SMG. And of course, funny enough, the secondaries have infinite ammo, so you don't have to worry about burning your ammo quickly if, you know, once your primary one's out, at least you have a backup weapon to fall on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I could talk about. I don't know if I'm able to fit all of it in the video here. But in terms of, well, getting to the actual game, there are a few things that did annoy me a little bit. The controls are definitely not great for a Payday game because it's a little bit fast-paced. I'm pretty sure there's controller support. If there was some way to play it like that, I definitely will. Now, interestingly, the playable heisters we have, unlike the heisters you play in Payday 2, certain heisters have unique abilities, similar to, you know, heroes or operators from Overwatch or Rainbow Six Siege. For example, Dallas, of course, can deploy a doctor bag, where anytime he or his teammates are close in the proximity of the range, they actually restore their health. So unlike the doctor bag in Payday 2, where usually, you know, it's meant to reset your downs and not just restoring your health, this one does restore your health. And there are some other ones out there as well, such as Hoxton, can enable to increase your movement speed, and Chains has the ability to fire his weapon and reload his weapons faster. I never really experimented with the other heisters itself because I need to invest more time to it, but the fact that there's just more unique abilities for each of them, and honestly, I'm not really too sure about it. But kind of funny enough, though, you can actually people can play multiple characters of the same heister, so you can technically have 4 Dallases in the field as opposed to 1, which is actually insane. I mean, I probably would just scream, I need a medic bag to see this happening. And in terms of the heist itself, so far there's only 2 difficulties. There's easy and normal. But But honestly, don't treat the normal difficulty in Crime War as a joke. They actually change up the gameplay, or at least change up the heist you're playing on. For example, on Bank Heist on Easy, all you have to do is just literally drill into the vault and secure the loot. Usually there's 4 bags. On normal though, there's actually 6 money bags you need to secure. And there's actually an extra security to get through. Which is normally when you open up the vault door in Bank Heist, you have to have there's actually another gate. Normally you can saw it, safe charge it, drill it, or even have a set of keys. This one works a little differently, which has actually shocked me a little bit. It kind of threw me off guard for a bit. And to find out that you need to require a specific key card to open the gate, being a VIP key card, which is located in a big safe just around the bank itself. Of course, once you open it, you can actually insert it inside the vault area, and you can able to get inside the vault. And another thing that's a little more different compared to Payday 2 is that Crime War, you can actually bag multiple bags at once. So, for example, with the money bags, you can actually bag up to 4. As opposed to, 1 normally, and for gold, it takes 2. As for jewelry, I'm not so sure. I think it's either 3 or 4. I'm really not too sure. But the fact that they give you an extra step on a difficulty really shows that it's not just, a difficulty that just bump up to enemies' health and deal more damage to you. So it's actual difficulty that I kind of want to see in Payday 3. Which, funny enough, I never really say anything about it for my wish list for Payday 3, where I just want the AI behavior to be a little more better. But adding another layer objective, honestly, I wouldn't mind it at all. That would be something a little more different and unique. And hopefully I could see something like this. Now, in terms of, well, the drills, and there's a few negative stuff I have in mind. First one, when it comes to the cleaner costs, you actually get penalized heavily for even killing 1 civilian, especially if you're trying to go for a nice juicy payout on normal. If you got a random dude to shoot every civilian, you're not even going to get that payout. You're going to be in the negatives because despite that person killed that civilian, that cleaner cost does actually applies to the entire crew. So even if you didn't technically kill any civilians at all, you still get penalized for the cleaner cost, which is stupid. It should be the person who kills the civilians in the first place, and not just entirely the crew. Why did they make this change? There was never a problem like this in Payday 2 or in Payday the Heist, where if you accidentally kill a civilian, guess what? It doesn't affect the entire crew. It only affects someone who, well, killed the civilians in the first place. So hopefully they change that in a later future. And as for, well, the safe itself, technically you can only hold up to 4 safes at a time. And the stupid thing about when you're drilling a safe, depends on what type of safe it is, you have to wait for a couple minutes for it to be open. For example, the normal safes, which I've been going for, takes 20 minutes. And the worst thing about it, that you can't drill multiple safes at the same time. If you try to do that, the game will try to tell you, if you want to open up this safe is drilling, but we'd like to open this one automatically with your real life money. So it really makes you, this game kind of makes you sit, pretty much sitting on a workbench or sitting on the benches during a sports game. Which the whole purpose of me playing games is to keep playing and keep engaging the game, not just weighing out in the main menu. Like, for real, you'll be sitting on the main menu way more than you do playing the game. It is no joke. You've been invest more time on the main menu than in-game. Hopefully they improve that later, but those are my personal take with Crime Wave. And if I ever get to live stream it through my phone, I'll definitely give it a try. But anyways, that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you for watching. Until next time, farewell, and have a wonderful day, everyone.